Juliana was contacted by, well, a lawyer. And then, but first she was contacted by 2020 News Channel about to come to New York and talk about the scammers thing on 2020. Because I guess some guy, well, not some guy, a gentleman had passed away as a result of, I guess he committed suicide because of the scam. So this became a big story. And again, I was observing all this, right? So they came to Florida, I was there. This is like I said, I'm operating in the background. I don't have anything going on. The only persons I talk to is my family. I don't have any friends. I don't use a cell phone, so me existing in America when I moved to Palm Bay was just like, I'm a crazy person that is just fortunate to be in a place where I can communicate with just the people who get me, anyone else. And the people who get me are the people in my family and people on YouTube who agree with the things that I say. And that's all I needed. So I don't have any friends and, have neighbors and stuff, but that's about it. So no one really knows of me existing, So they come and they do their thing. She goes to New York. She does the interview. Now, I think from this lawyer saw or, got wind of the situation. Now, this lawyer is the same lawyer that wrote Kobe Bryant's groupie contract. And also he got famous for suing. He sued some movie studio over some Star Wars lawsuit. So he got famous from a Star Wars lawsuit where the guy who made Star Wars, he actually did a lawsuit for that guy and won or something. And then he made the Kobe Bryant groupie contract where the contract where groupie has to sign so Kobe Bryant wouldn't get in trouble for, raping them and stuff. And so he contacted Juliana, says, you have a case, I have compiled tons of evidence of Match.com using your photos and your information to get guys to join Match.com. And they're aware that this is all a scam, And so there was like thousands of profiles on Match.com with Juliana's photo on it. And guys were joining Match.com, so that was his case. So he came to Florida. This is interesting. Again, I'm observing. I'm hearing this and I'm observing. I'm not involved. He came to Florida. He went out to have lunch at Olive Garden with Juliana to talk about the case. When she came back, she had like a vibe where, the guy was weird, like it seemed like he had a crush on her, right? Which I understand because she is beautiful and everything. And then the next day or a few days later, he ended up in the hospital because he had some kind of mental breakdown. He explained that he was, I don't like these words. He was classified as bipolar and he had to get medication. He had to go through, basically he was gone, he was gone. So he disappeared for maybe 6 months and then he came back after that. Says he just won another case with Red Lobster because Red Lobster was charging tips, like extra tips on people's credit cards, which we actually experienced that. We went to New York one time and we got scammed in New York, in Brooklyn. Somebody charged an extra tip. So guess this was happening at Red Lobster and he made a lawsuit. He got successful. So now he was back on top. And because he had his name again, he was going to do Juliana's case. So he filed this $1 billion lawsuit, right? And again, I'm not involved in any of this. He filed this lawsuit. So this is billions of dollars, right? So I'm like, whoa, so of course this is going to bring a lot of attention, right? And so eventually I kept saying, don't say my name. Leave me out of this, Now the only thing that I've done is take these pictures, So therefore I'm thinking to myself, I am owed something. If anyone gets billions of dollars out of this thing, because I thought they really had a case. I mean, they do have a case. I'm like, yo, I took these pictures, so I got some money coming to me. However, don't say my name because I'm not involved in this, right? Sure enough, as the case rolled on, it seemed like motherfuckers just kept bringing me up, looking at me. Even my mother and my girlfriend kept talking to me about it. I'm like, yo, don't talk to me about this case, man. I'm not involved in this, man. And so it got to a point where I said, like, fuck this, I went on Facebook and I posted whatever I posted. And what happened was I said that on Facebook, and sure enough, a few days later, the whole entire case fell apart. And, it's like, I say one thing and the case falls apart because of me, and I'm not involved in none of this shit. I mean, we're talking about $1 billion case. They could make this case without me. Why are you even talking about me? Why is my presence a problem? Because the guy had a crush on her. Like he wanted her to come to New York, and stay there for a week to do interviews with Fox News. Even Fox News was like, yeah, man, and ABC and all that. But she didn't want to be in New York for a week. She'd already done that. And she's like, okay, I'll come do these interviews, but I'm only going to stay 2 days. So you have to set them all up for 2 days, and I'll do them all, and then I'll come back to Florida, And none of them like that. Like Fox News was like, no, who does she think she is? And he was like, no, man, you gotta, basically, she's not being paid to do none of this shit, so she's supposed to get up and go work. And she wasn't doing that before. It's like we're chilling in Florida and we're doing our bounce house business and we're making money online. She ain't gonna get up and go chase after $1 billion and go do weeks of interviews and put her face out there and nobody's being paid. Like, yo, what's up? No, this is not gonna work. That's what I was saying, to her, like, yo, it's crazy, So she was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So basically she wasn't willing to work for free. So the case fell apart, right? Fine, we moved on.